Hey guys, welcome back to the Pisces, man. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today we're doing something slightly different. I'm talking about manifestation. How do you actually get what you want? Okay, people call it manifestation. I had no idea what it was called back then. I'm going to talk about my own experience because I've been doing this for years before even I knew what it was. Now looking back, I started noticing this pattern, right? There are mainly four things that you have to see or to manifest something. Your thought, your intention, your words, and your actions, okay? So what you think, what you intend, what you say, and what you do. Okay, now before we start the video, I also do chart readings. If you want me to read your chart, I would say join the channel. If you want me to do your reading for free, leave a comment down below, your time of birth, your place of birth, your date of birth, and one question. If you don't have a question, I cannot read your chart because I don't know what I'm looking for, okay? If you have a high number of likes, comments, I would definitely select your chart for reading in my next video. Now back to the video. So I was talking about your thoughts, your intention, your words, your actions, okay? And also your reactions to what happens around you. I'd say that's one of the most important things as well. Okay, parts of your actions, actually, that one. Now let me explain why I started believing that there was something to this. I don't know if you guys remember this thing. It was called Discman. Discman, yeah. I'll show you a picture. I'll put it on the screen. This was back in 2005 or 2006. I was very young. I wasn't expecting this, honestly, because I am not from a well-to-do family. My father works day and night. My mother's a housewife, so not really rich people. Can't really afford a Discman, especially back in 2005, 2006, okay? Now, just to let you guys know, I wasn't reading books about manifestation. I had no idea what it was, okay? I was just watching... I was just reading magazines. So magazines had pictures of, things like Discman, things like Walkman, phones, blah, blah, all these pictures over there. So I was imagining them. I really wanted a Discman when I saw it in the magazine, okay? I didn't know how it worked. I just know there was a portable music player. Okay, I kept thinking about having one. I imagined it. I imagined using it. I imagined what it would be like to have one. Okay, and eventually I got one. Okay, but the problem was when I got one, I'll show a picture of it. Okay, this is what it looked like. I didn't like how it looked. Okay, it had this this strange part sticking out of the side. It was blue in color. I remember thinking that I wanted another one, a better looking one. It was circle. It was gray. And guess what? I also ended up getting that one. I got 2 Discmans. Okay. And at the time, I didn't thought of anything. I thought I got lucky. And I found this at the bus stop, both of them, okay? Both Discmans were found at the bus stop, probably owned by the same person, I don't know. And this happened within a month, okay? Then, another story. I wanted something like a expensive camera, okay? This was also around that time. And I used to make silly videos with my phone camera. So first of all, I didn't have a phone. It was my brother's phone. And I used to borrow his phone to make like stupid videos on his phone and just, send it to, show it to my mom and show it to my family. And, they used to laugh like, haha, what is this? Dumb things anyway. So I was like, what if I own a camera? And I think Facebook was just coming up, so you could post videos as well. It was back, this was 2008. And I was like, what if I can record my silly videos with a expensive camera and then, post it on Facebook and everybody can watch it and silly stuff like that. So I really wanted a camera. Now, eventually, my father found one camera. Okay. He said I found it on the street. I don't know, it was near my house. Somebody dropped it. That camera was a Sony, I forgot the name of it. It was a Sony camera, a small digital camera. Okay, I used to make all kind of stupid videos with that when I was younger. I still have those videos up on my Facebook. And now I have a Discman. I have another Discman. Now I also have a Sony camera. Okay. Now, another manifestation thing that I had was this Spider-Man cap. Okay, I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. Now, at the time, one of the Spider-Man movies was just releasing. It was Spider-Man 3, I think. And I remember thinking about getting myself this cap. Okay, I was imagining, what if I have a cap that looks like Spider-Man's mask? And I was very specific when I thought about it. Imagine if I could get a Spider-Man cap, not just any cap, a Spider-Man cap, okay? And that would look so cool. And, I would wear that with my hoodie and stuff. And then I went on a trip with my family, and I walked into a shop, it's a toy shop, and there was a Spider-Man cap. So not exactly what I imagined, but it was something that I thought of, okay? It was kind of a thing that I was looking for, okay? Now, I'd say this is the fastest example, the fastest manifestation that I can remember. And that's when I was wondering, like, why these things are... Suddenly I'm thinking about these things and then I'm owning them. And because I wasn't doing something special or anything like that. I was thinking about them and they were just coming to me. Okay. But one thing, I'll be very clear about what I wanted. I'm very, very clear that, I really want this. And then somehow it just came up. Now, the biggest example is the next one, okay? You want to believe me or you don't want to believe me, is up to you, okay? But I'm going to show up a picture on my, on the screen that this is what I got. It's a BMW, okay? And this is something that's going to sound ridiculous for you. And I'm going to explain this, okay? Before you turn off the video, just listen to my explanation. I got this car for free. Yeah? Do you believe that? I did. I got this car for free. When I currently work in Ireland. I moved to Ireland back in 2023, late 2023. And there was a point where I didn't have a car. I was working here. I was literally walking to work. I was walking to the grocery shop. I was doing groceries for a month. Heavy bags, walk back and forth, like half an hour journey. And I was literally walking everywhere. And I've always had this imagination of the kidney-shaped grille of this car. If you look at the front of this car, there's this grille that I really, 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 really liked. I would picture myself having, like, touching this front of the car. I didn't specifically ask, like, I want a BMW X4 or anything like that. But I simply had a very clear image in my head. The type of car that I liked, okay? Now, I was imagining this thing every night, and I'm not joking, every night. I would just have this imagination. If I have a car, like, I want something that has this front that looks like that. And one day, I got to know a guy, very rich man. This guy is working with me, And he said, oh, I saw you walking. He saw me walking to the grocery shop with heavy bags and to work with my bag. And it was a long journey. And he have given me lifts a few times before that. He said, one day he just came up to me. He's like, I'm going to Spain. Why don't you have my car? I have 2 cars. You can have my other car. And I didn't know what car it was. So he said, he just gave me the keys and walked away. He's like, I told him, like, I don't want this car. I can walk back home. Don't feel embarrassed like somebody's giving you a car. Never happened this to me. And he gave me his keys and he walked away. And then I was like, okay, can you show me at least where the car is? Went to the parking lot. I saw this car, BMW X4, and then I looked at the front of it, and there was, that shape that I was picturing in my head. Now, you can call all this a coincidence. Some of them could be coincidence. Okay, I'm not asking you to blindly believe that I got a BMW car. This is what happened. I'm telling you, this is what happened. And I'm telling you this. Now, if you look at this, it's already strange that this happened to me. Now, if you look at this whole event, right? I was trying to figure out what's the pattern here. So it started from back in 2004 all the way to 2023. I've been manifesting random things. And I don't know how. Okay? So one day I just sat down and tried to understand what the pattern is. Now, the thing that became very clear in my mind, it influenced what I noticed, what I talked about, the opportunity, I recognized it, okay? There are 4 components in this. One is your thought, okay? First thing, you think about something. Second is your intention, then your words, then your action. Okay, because wanting something is only the beginning. You want something. Okay? The question that you should have, in your mind, how do you actually manifest something? How do you actually get that thing that you want? Your thought, your intention, your word, your action. And if one of this is wrong or going against the other, then you make the process very hard. Okay? Number 1, your thoughts. Before anything happens outside of you, okay, before actions start happening outside of you, there is usually an idea in your head, a picture in your head, or something that you want in your mind, in your heart. Okay, for example, you want a job, you want a car, you want to shift to a different country, you want to build that business, you want to change your habit, you want to become a different type of person. But there's a difference between thinking about something occasionally and repeatedly holding a clear picture of where you want to go or what you want in your mind. Okay, when I wanted the BMW, I wasn't sitting there all day saying BMW. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't chanting BMW. I simply had an image in my head. Okay, I liked a particular shape. Okay, I liked that kidney-shaped front grille. Okay, that image was very, very vivid in my mind. It stayed in my mind. Okay, just like the Discman, I was imagining the Discman like mad, like crazy. Okay, so the first thing I would tell you is know what you want. Don't make it complicated. Okay, you don't need 50-page manifestation journal. You need clarity. Okay, you need to know what you want. Be very specific. Okay, recognize it in your mind. You should be able to imagine it in your mind. If you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't know what you want, if you're not clear, if you don't have that one single image in your head, you can walk straight past that thing that you want. You may not see it. Okay? Now, intention. intention is very different from wanting something, okay? You can say, I would love to have this, I would love to have that, I want some money. That's a wish, that's not intention. Okay, intention is, I'm going to improve my financial situation. I'm going to do this. That's your intention. Okay. Now when you say I'm going to do this, your mind is gonna start asking you questions. How am I gonna do this? Where I need to be, where I need to go to do this? What do I need to do? Who do I have to speak to? Okay? And your mind will start looking for the opportunities around you. Okay, this is where the manifestation will begin actually. It starts becoming more practical. Your intention gives your mind a direction. Okay, and once that direction becomes clear, something very strange start happening. I call these things bridges. Okay, what's a bridge? A bridge is something that appears between where you are now and where you will be later. You understand? This is where a lot of people make a mistake. Even I made a mistake. We expect the bridge to look like the destination. So you can imagine point A, point B, and this is a bridge. Okay? You think point B is the destination, but it's not. Imagine you want to completely change your career. Okay? You expect your manifestation to be like somebody just appears, or you get a new job, that your dream job, and that's it. Okay, that's not how it works. You may lose your job. Some event, something might happen here that make you lose your job. You will be embarrassed, you will go through hell, and then, or you met someone unrelated to your industry, or you start learning that event that initially was like useless or something, okay, but it helped you in the future. Or you move to a new place, a new country, or new location which you didn't want to. Now at that moment you might think this is going completely wrong, you are failing, but you don't know yet that this is a bridge. Okay, this is a bridge to that destination that you're actually supposed to be at. Okay, one event will lead to another event. Okay, now for example, that person that introduced you to somebody else, okay, you went to a new place. That new place will have new opportunities. Okay, failure will force you to try something new, something different. Okay, if you didn't have that failure, you would not try that new thing. Okay, and after like 5 different steps, you will be at a completely different location, or a completely different path. Okay, then you look back, the route will make sense for you. Now that is why I don't think you should obsess over how something must happen. Be clear about the destination, but leave some flexibility around the route, the journey. Okay, because sometimes the journey looks completely wrong while you're traveling through it. Okay, you might even feel that you're actually moving backwards. You're failing. You might think this is not what you wanted. Okay, maybe it's not what you wanted. Maybe it's just the bridge. Now, I want you to be careful here, okay? That don't mean every bad thing that is happening to you is some magical sign. Sometimes you also have to use your brain. Don't do wrong things so that you don't fall into wrong problems. Okay? Don't become silly about this, okay? You still have your own judgment. You have to make decisions based on your own judgment. Okay, don't fall for silly things. Okay. Now, when you expected opportunity, and some unexpected opportunity appears, for example, don't reject it immediately. Don't just reject it out and out, okay? Just because it looked different than what you pictured in your head. it may move you closer to what you want. Okay. Now, the third part here is your words. Pay attention to how you speak about the thing that you want. Okay. Now imagine you're saying, I want to start a business. And then after that, you're talking negatively. Economy is horrible. I'm not succeeding because of so and so. Businesses always fail. I probably couldn't do it. I don't know this. I don't have enough money. I'm not lucky. People keep saying this nonsense. I'm not lucky like other people. So you see what you just did? You contraindicated yourself. Your intention said you wanted this, and your words said that it will not happen. Okay, and the biggest problem is not that the universe is listening to every sentence and then changing your path. It's about you. You are the universe and you are listening to yourself. Your words reinforce the way you think, and the way you think influences how you behave. If you constantly tell yourself something is impossible, eventually your words start matching your belief. You will stop looking, you will stop asking, you will stop trying. You will even stop noticing the opportunities that are right in front of your eyes. You are lying to yourself. Okay? For example, you are lying to yourself when you're saying, I'm a millionaire. You stand in front of a mirror, you just say, I'm a millionaire. Okay, but then you know inside yourself that your bank balance is almost zero. Your brain knows you're talking nonsense. You need to say something believable. You need to say, I will become a millionaire. I am building something that can increase my income. That's believable. Rather than just standing in front of a mirror and saying, I'm a millionaire. Your brain knows that you're lying. Okay. You need to say, I'm going to figure this out. You need to tell yourself that you don't know it yet, but I'm going to keep moving. I'm not going to give up. That is much more powerful because now your words are supporting your intention. Okay. Now the final part and the most important part is your action. Action and also reaction. This is where most of people that try to manifest, they will fail. Okay. People will easily visualize something. Okay, they will easily draw, have a vision board, do the journal and all that stuff, but they don't want to do the uncomfortable part, which is taking action. They don't want to fail. They don't want to stress themselves. They don't want to get out from their comfort zone, basically. Okay, they don't want to save money. They're afraid of rejection. They're embarrassed to do something, talking to someone. If you cannot say you want something while repeatedly refusing every action that could take you towards it, okay, at some point you have to move, guys. You have to make small, tiny actions. You need to become uncomfortable. You need to go to that event. You need to ask questions. You need to apply for that job. Okay, start some project, make the first sale, make the first move, put that video online. You need to take the uncomfortable step. Okay, because the bridge is not just going to appear in front of you if you don't take the action. So, how you can imagine this is like driving at night. When you drive at night, your headlights are on. It's not going to show you your entire journey. You cannot see 100 meters in front of you. You can only see the road beneath you. Am I right? Okay. Now, if that's the case, you will stop the car and just say, I refuse to drive because I cannot see the road. I cannot see the entire road. You drive the 100 meters, guys, looking at the road. The next 100 meters will become visible eventually. Okay, this is how I think a lot of manifestation works. You know the general destination, you take step by step. Then the other step will appear. Then the other step will appear. Then eventually the whole path will start forming. Now this is another part of the action that people always forget, how you react to things. How are you going to react when you get setback? When you get rejection? Something that you didn't expect happened. Unexpected things will happen. This is where your reaction will matter the most. Okay, let's say you applied for something, you got rejected. You can react saying that, oh, it wasn't for me, or I'm a failure. Or you can say, what? I learned something from this. I'm going to do this better. I think I need to change my strategy. Maybe there's another route. Okay, that reaction becomes your next action. So manifestation is not just about what you do, it's also about how you react to failures, to situations. Okay? It is about when reality is not cooperating with your plan, how do you go about that? Okay? The bridge sometimes won't form until you face a reaction. Until you face some embarrassment, that bridge won't come. Okay? Sometimes it begins with a complete change of plan, your journey. Okay, the question is whether you keep walking, you choose to keep walking, or you choose to give up. Try this for yourself. It's very simple. Choose one thing. Don't choose 100 things, okay? Choose one thing that you're very clear about. One thing that you genuinely want. Now picture it very clearly. What does it look like? If you have it, how would it feel like? Don't just say, I want success. What does success mean? You want more money? You want a particular job? What does it mean? You want to own a business? You have to be very clear about what you want. Okay? And then set your intentions. Tell yourself, this is where I'm going. This is the steps I'm going to take. This is what I'm going to do. Pay attention to your words. Stop constantly speaking against your own goal. Take the action. Do something that moves you even slightly closer towards your goal. Okay? Watch for bridges. The bridge might be a person. The bridge might be a rejection. The bridge might be a failure. Okay, a temporary job, an idea, a course or something. A random invitation from someone, a friendship, okay, something that you originally didn't want. Okay, pay attention. The route towards what you want may look completely different from the route you imagined. And that is probably the biggest lesson I've learned from all of this. You control your intention, you control your thoughts, you control your words, you control your actions. But you don't completely control the route. The route can be just a mess. Okay? And the route is where you're supposed to enjoy. The journey is supposed to be the enjoyable part. Okay? When I was working here, walking in Ireland, I wasn't thinking, this walk is part of the process of getting that BMW I spoke about earlier. Okay? I was just walking to work, guys. And somebody saw me. And the person had 2 cars. And one conversation later, he gave me his car. Okay? And that's a bridge. If I demanded that BMW, do you think I would have gotten one? No. I could have never predicted that route, man. Okay? So I said, decide what you want. Hold on to your intention. Speak in a way that will support it. Be positive. Speak positively. Take the action. Okay? And when life puts an unexpected road in front of you, don't immediately assume you're going the wrong way. Look carefully. This might be a bridge. Okay, and eventually when you reach the other side, you will look back and you will realize that the whole path was forming from long before you could even see what was happening. Okay, and thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for liking the video. If you do, follow, join the channel. If you want a free consultation, do leave a comment down below. I will choose the best one with the most number of likes. And take care. Bye bye.